Smack them or give them a doggy treat. We look at controversial gun dog training techniques.
I can see no reason to berate a dog like that.
We are down on the range at the gun trade's biggest show in Germany to see what's on offer in 2017. We've got news, we've got hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
Working dogs are a vital part of any shoot day. There is something special about seeing a dog work well, controlled, directed, but also having the drive to find that bird in heavy cover or in water. But what does it take to get to this point?
I thought that was appalling and unforgivable. I can see no reason to berate a dog like that at all.
We talk to both sides of this argument. We meet the subject of that video, the man behind the camera, a gun dog trainer who's had 240,000 signatures on an online petition against his methods, but he stands by them.
I believe that we should be honest and open with people. As professionals, we have a duty of care to these animals, and we have a duty of care to the people we train, that we have to say this is acceptable as discipline and this is not acceptable. As for swinging dogs around by the ears and beating them, yes, it looks like the dog's being picked by the ears, but it's actually being picked by the scruff, and I can explain why, and it's really an important issue, because so many people are using electric collars, and if a dog's had a pain on the side of its neck and you go to grab the scruff, it'll turn and bite you. I'm not a fan of electric collars. I've never used electric collars myself, and I've watched other people use them, and I've seen dogs messed up with them.
Christopher Upton has been a dog trainer for more than 30 years. He has trained hundreds of dogs in that time. However, his methods for training are controversial. He once posted a video of himself disciplining a dog called Storm.
Mud sticks. At the end of the day, that's, you make accusations against somebody, they may be totally innocent, but other people will believe it and then get on the bandwagon. And I've had other people then sharing it, saying this bloke beats dog. They've never met me at a trial running a dog because I haven't run a dog, and they're in Surrey. But they train pets, and they don't just train gun dogs, they train pets. I'm a gun dog specialist, but I could train pets in my sleep.
Christopher has a YouTube channel where he's uploaded hundreds of videos showing how he trains his many dogs. This film from his channel shows a spaniel sitting obediently as birds fall dead around it, and then Christopher sends it in after one bird that has landed in water.
One drive alone, I probably picked 40 birds if you watch the whole video. And the idea is the birds that are dropping around the dog, he's not allowed to pick unless I ask him to. He's supposed to just sit there, but I shouldn't be telling him to not move. He should just sit there. He should only go for the birds I ask him to. The idea is if you want that control, you're going to have your discipline in your training. If not, you've got to keep your dog on the lead until the end of the drive and then just let it run riot and pick anything it can find. That's a different sort of training altogether, and there's plenty of people on shoots who haven't got any control. I don't knock them people. It's down to each person's preference. But I come from the competition world where the standard has to be high, and I've realised over the years that you don't need to regimentally train a dog, but I can show you, and my videos show you, that how to have both sides of the story. A well-controlled dog, using a little bit of discipline, but 95% fun-based training.
When disciplining his gun dogs, Christopher uses methods that others do not agree with. He believes that to get a dog that's under pressure in the field to obey you, you need to be able to discipline it. Gilly Nichols has been a gun dog trainer for as long as Christopher. She is chairman of the South Eastern Gun Dog Society and a Kennel Club A-panel retriever judge. She uses completely different methods to those used by Mr. Upton. Gilly likes to train using only hand and voice.
I'm a trainer who believes in trying to make everything as clear as possible for a dog. So anything that dog does, it's either right or it's wrong, it's black or it's white. I'm not a clicker trainer, I don't reward with treats. For me, everything is done with hand and voice. So I talk to the dogs and I stroke them and I fuss them, because that's why I have dogs, I like them. If I need to correct the dog because it makes a mistake, it goes wrong, then that will be primarily by voice, but possibly by hand as well, and hands would be very much on the scruff of the dog's neck. It doesn't need to be overly physical. Frankly, tone of voice is quite enough for the dog to know that I'm cross with it.
We showed Gilly clips of Christopher Upton's training methods.
I don't know the man, I haven't seen him training his dogs. There were certainly parts of those videos that would concern me. In one instance, there's a young spaniel that he wants to sit and stay, and he moves away from it, and actually a lot of dogs, their natural inclination is to follow the owner. And to me, he was very heavy-handed. His reaction was intense. The way he picked the dog up and was really cross with it and took it back. It could be that he'd done it 100 times before nicely, and that was just the 101st time, but I don't know, I suspect not. He then did the right thing when the dog was sitting there. He went back to it and praised it, but by that stage the dog was clearly fairly unhappy about what had happened. Her head was on the ground. I'm not sure she was really aware that she had done something right. In a second clip you showed me, he was chastising a dog by, he appeared to be holding its mouth open and pressing its lips against its canine teeth, with all his other dogs milling around, and I thought that was appalling. I mean, unforgivable. I can see no reason to berate a dog like that at all. The dog that he was punishing, and I am going to say punishing rather than correcting, because that's what it seemed to me that it was distressed. Its body language would have given that off. The scent it would have been making would have given that off, because it would have been having huge adrenaline spikes. And it was making a noise, which we could hear on the video, and that noise was clearly giving out a signal saying something bad is happening here. It's wrong, it's not understanding how dogs work. You were in a new job and you weren't quite sure what to do. Would you like your boss to explain to you what he wanted, or would you like him to pick you up by your hair and throw you across the office? And if you think the latter's the way that would work, maybe don't get a dog.
I use correction. I use the flat of my hand on the base of the backside, right at the bottom of the tail. I pick a dog up by the scruff, I place it back on the spot, I use discipline. But discipline is completely different to cruelty. I mean, we're arguing about an ideology here, that you've got a set of people who believe everything should be positive and only treat training and clicker training. You can't go down that road for a gun dog that's going to be put under extreme pressure.
The other issue is the way that the internet has turned on Christopher. The problem started when he set up a closed Facebook group hosting his videos, but they were leaked by members of the group. His critics re-edited these videos and re-uploaded them, showing only the dog correction and detailing what they thought were wrong. He is accused of slapping and swinging Storm by the ears, and as a result, Christopher has been involved in legal proceedings. He had his guns taken away, requiring him to go to court to win them back. He has been referred to the RSPCA, and there was an online petition which 240,000 people signed, asking the government to prosecute him for mistreating animals.
It's not me so much, it's my wife, it's my family. It's the stress it causes them. You know, they're not as strong as me. I'm quite a strong guy. I can take these people on and I ignore the hate that comes through on a regular basis. You're allowed to disagree with my methods of training, but what I don't like is the fact that they take my videos, edit them, and only show the discipline side and not show the whole story. My videos are there for people to make judgment themselves by looking at them and saying, okay, we might not like that, but I like that. It's a free country. If you don't like them, don't watch them.
There is no consensus on training techniques. The Kennel Club's Code of Practice for accredited instructors says there is to be no aversive training, so it does not support Christopher's position. We asked Basque if they recommend corrective training for gun dogs. Basque's head of game and deer management, Glyn Evans, has no view on it, adding that training sessions should be enjoyable for both you and your dog. Christopher Upton has been in the social media spotlight over this issue for years, culminating in Christopher ringing one of his abusers and challenging them. He uses offensive language. You can hear what he says by clicking on the link in the screen.
I got the email at 4 o'clock in the morning. I sat there. I answer about 30 or 40 emails. Then this one comes through saying, have you seen this this is going to be dead damaging. It says he beats and kicks dogs for a living, right? I then was so angry, I phoned up. In the background, a guy starts swearing at me. Then I upped my ante and I swore at her.
Do you smack a dog or don't you? Do you start a campaign? The claim and counterclaim between Christopher and his abusers is not over yet. There are plenty of methods and techniques employed by owners and professional gun dog trainers. They all want results on the field. How they achieve those results appears to be very different. For a more detailed report into this case, please click on the link on the screen or visit bit.ly/Christopher Upton.
But everything I say, I stand by. Use this as evidence.
Well, that is a fascinating debate, especially with crufts taking place in Birmingham this week. Please let us know which side of it you come down on. Now to our very own cockapoo. It is David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. Everyone is getting in on the Eagle Cam Act. Following our video made with a camera on the back of an eagle, GoPro itself has released one. While we went to Scotland, they went to the Burkitchi people of Mongolia. GoPro strapped one of its cameras to one of their eagles and let it loose. The news is out about Basque's Annus Horribilis. As both the chairman and chief executive were replaced at Marford Mill in Wrexham in May 2016, there was no satisfactory explanation of what went on. Now a picture is emerging thanks to an employment tribunal and a formal report, which reads like the treatment for a BBC drama. It involves death threats, swearing, gross misconduct and the presence of police officers to remove people from the buildings. Read the full report in Fieldsports News. A journalist from Jordan is under fire for vermin control. A video of Hayam Awad killing endangered striped hyena cubs has gone viral. It shows her crawling out of a hyena den in central Jordan, dragging 2 cubs with her. She says she was protecting local cattle. A fox and wild dog bounty is underway in Victoria, Australia. Eligible participants can submit entire fox scalps for $10 and entire wild dogs for 120 Australian dollars. Scottish gamekeepers and mountaineers are uniting over a tree plan. They're opposed to plans that would see thousands of acres of trees planted. The Scottish Gamekeepers Association and the Mountaineering Scotland groups usually have differing views, but have found a common goal in trying to stop the draft climate change plan. And finally, a New York lawyer is out to get a local fire brigade over squirrel hunting. The Holly Fire Department faces a court case because it sponsors the Squirrel Slam, a local squirrel hunting outing. The lawsuit, brought by a local woman, claims the mass killing of the squirrels can lead to environmental disaster. You are now to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Now we have just returned from one of the world's top gun trade shows, this one in Nuremberg. But before the doors to the Messe open and we can go and have a look at the booths, we went on a range day to test out some of the new kit on offer. The shooting industry can give the impression of being a bit slow, a bit sluggish, tradition. But at EWA 2017, the trade is clearly moving with the times. Virtual reality boar hunting with aimpoint. Augmented reality by Zeiss, allowing the customer to peer inside the new V6. Well, it's all very well coming to a big tin shed outside Nuremberg to look at kit, but you can't actually use it. So that's why we've come here to a series of concrete blocks outside Nuremberg, home to German ammunition manufacturer RWS, and they've brought all their friends along, people like Blaser who make rifles and Zeiss who make scopes. And why? Because here they've got a rifle range. And that means you get to shoot with, shoot on, shoot through, and even try on new stuff. On display are 3 new bullet types being used on 3 different ranges. The first, creatively, is multidisciplined. With the help of Leica sports optics and Merkel rifles, the guests have to shoot 3 steel targets, then swap seamlessly over to one of Merkel's big game drillings to shoot a charging buffalo. and with the change of trigger, a going away bird. The rifle ammo of choice here is RWS's new long-range hunting round, the Speed Tip Professional. RWS even makes the shotgun cartridge.
It's the redesign of an actual old bullet, the H-mantle bullet. As you can see, nickel-plated bullet with a black plastic tip, and that plastic tip provides the fragmentation of the frontal core. The soap block was shot on 300 meters with the caliber 30-06 and a bullet weight of 165 grains. And as you can see, the first cavity here is from fragmentation, and it's traveling through that soap block and provides the exit wound. In direct comparison to a regular soft point bullet in 30-06 with the same bullet weight, you only can see that linear channel here, no energy transfer at all on the same distance, 300 meters. There we've got a volume of 50 milliliters in that soap block, and with our Speed Tip Professional bullet, we've got a volume of 650 milliliters.
We leave the Norwegian forests with its rogue buffalo to hear about a newcomer to the optics world, Gecko. Known as a bullet brand, Gecko is producing a new range of scopes and binos. We try out the scopes on new editions of the Zauer 404, and I have a chance to feel the kick of RWS's 10.3 by 68. Now this is a 223 round. It's a 223 with a 308 round. This is the monster of Graubünden, which is the new 10.3 round. Now they're saying that this doesn't kick very much. Should we find out? Well, it kicked, but not as much as you'd expect. I mean, I think that's around about a 270, or a bit lighter than a 270. So that's a very doable round, I think, for deer.
This bullet without expansion has the same dimension as a 30-06 bullet when it's fully expanded. And then again, with this bullet, obviously the bullet will still perform and fragment, so you'll have a much bigger effect in game.
With this one round, RWS says you can shoot pretty much any sized quarry, from groundhogs to boar to bucks to buffalo. Talking of boar, they've made a hunting film to promote the 10.3 by 68, starring Hannah Stickoff. Your film, was that fun to make?
It was a lot of fun to make, I can tell you. But I mean, launching a new caliber is first of all, you need a good product, which I think we truly have, and we have proven that it is. But also we have strong partners with Sauer and Blaser that offer the rifle systems, everything behind it, which is very important that you have, the whole system has to work, not only the cartridge.
Is anybody else making a rifle for this caliber?
Not as yet. This is our exclusive launch partners for now. We start having products on shelf like by June. And first of all, it's going to be Sauer and Blaser. And then we hope that more people will pick it up as time goes on. But I think this caliber has potential to grow more. We base it on a regular, like a 300 Winchester Magnum case, so that really we make it simple for others to produce the round. We don't want to make it hard for them, then nobody does it in the end. To make a caliber grow, I think we have to have more competition on the market, and this will create a bigger supply, and then the demand comes with it.
The 10.3 by 68 was the round of choice for a small hunting community in Switzerland, the alpine region of Graubünden. RWS has now developed the cartridge for use in the 21st century to prove the one-man, one-gun theory they've been long stuck to in the Alps. That same hint of nostalgia is seen in Zeiss's V6 scope, which has a very competitive price point. It's a lot of scope for the money.
It's pretty outstanding that we offer this scope, including even FL lenses and the bigger ones, for just starting at €1,395 up to $1,845, including the ASV on the biggest one.
I mean, if you made the scope 10 years ago, you'd have been charging twice that.
It would be clearly about €2,000, definitely.
So you're getting €2,000 worth of scope for 1,300.
Right.
That's pretty good.
The first three models are really concentrating on the European style hunter. So, for example, all scopes have no parallax adjustment. They are all parallax free at 100 meters, the typical European value. But you can expect more to come.
It's really funny. We got the 10.3 calibre is a throwback to 1867. The V6 is a throwback to 1922. There seems to be people who are going back in time to find good ideas and updating them.
Sometimes they do, yeah, and see that not everything was worse in these times.
Something closer to home is the Stornoway suit, new from Harkeela. It is tweed, but not as you know it. It's lightweight for a start and full of technology.
So this suit is aimed for the active hunter, Scottish hunter maybe. It's traditional looking but incorporated with modern details, nice membrane, waterproof, breathable and very silent as well. It's a Harkeela weather system. It's developed especially for hunting. It's tweed looking but it's really thin, really lightweight and it's really comfortable as well. So a lot different from the original tweed, which is very heavy. This is lightweight.
Blaser is also throwing its hat into the ring. In fact, many rings with a new clothing line where every jacket is unique and the new Blaser binoculars. As a final fling, we're led into the pistol range. These days, there's something a bit naughty about shooting a handgun. Yeah, so I've never seen one of these before. So what does this do then? Is this some kind of gun? What is it?
Yeah, this is a pistol.
We don't have these in the UK.
I know,
you
that was the reason. It's a pistol.
Oh.
Those kind of things you can't use in the UK. No joke, it was just a joke. This is the new pistol from Arsenal Firearms. So it's empty, no magazine, just to show that to you. So what is the special thing on those pistols? It's new, of course. And the other thing, there are a lot of small techniques inside that you would never expect.
Again, it's a day for nostalgia, certainly for us Brits. We're seeing lots of traditional companies doing lots of very untraditional things. Browning, the rifle and shotgun maker, is launching a range of optics. So's Gecko, the ammunition manufacturer. So's Blaser, the rifle maker. Are we going to see more manufacturers doing these things? Will Zeiss make rifles? Well, there you have it. Plenty of kit coming to a gun shop near you, and not just from our ammunition sponsor RWS. Next week, Paul Childerley takes that Zeiss V6 scope out in anger for the first time. 4 species in a day. Next up, let's go to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube. It is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. I like a channel called Hunting the Menu. This is episode 6, Medieval Feast. Hunter-gatherer meets gourmet chef in Australia. Tonight, Le Chef propose hog and goat. Zach Rayward is a viewer and a hunter from New Zealand. His YouTube channel Wild Game NZ is getting good views. This is a compilation. Matt from Optical Armory gets in touch. These are his first few outings with the Night Sight laser rangefinder mounted on his Remy Viper in Tutu rimfire. Good to see a GoPro video with a sense of story. Chasse TV from France has to wait for the boar to make their way along the track below him. The dogs are behind them before he takes the shot. Another suspenseful hog film, this time in the USA. Hunting Special waits for it, then takes his shots, which eventually give him a double. Freelance Duck Hunting is stalking snow geese. It is the spring waterfowl hunt. They spend a weekend camping and shooting geese on public land in the American Midwest. Lots of kit launched at EWA. Some of it we've covered in this week's show. Here is a promo film for another, and watch this, you have watched them all. The formula for a product promo film is slow-mo, dark landscapes, some water, a crackling fire, an animal moving, a dog jumping, more slow-mo, and a rifle being levelled. They don't even shoot a beast with it. That's what's wrong with the gun trade. If you want to know what's wrong with America, look at the gulf between the two protagonists in this film. A smarty pants from the East Coast goes to Alabama to visit a spear hunting museum. That's it for this week. I have put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the link or go to bit.ly/huntingyoutube380. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. If you would prefer something a little more educational, then try out this month's Club Digweed. In this month's Club Digweed, George starts his 2017 season with 3 100-bird competitions back to back, and he does it in style. Out of the blocks, it's a 99.
First round of the season, very happy. Timing felt quite good. I was quite pleased with my timing.
There's my card.
He talks through his preparation and explains why a left-to-right crosser causes him problems. He also shoots a compact layout with the shot cam.
One of the uses that Jamie's got is long legs. It means he gets to the stand a lot quicker. Look at him go. I have to do 5 paces to cover one of his.
It's all in this month's Club Digweed. For more information about becoming a member or to download the show, go to georgedigweed.com. Well, we are back next week. If you have not done so already, please go to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, or best of all, pop your email address into our register page, and we'll contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain is at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday, and this has been Fieldsports Britain from Ewer in Germany. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.